Hi folks, welcome to today's Bobcast. I'm Bob Binney, Certified Financial Planner Professional.
I'm Jessie Thompson, also CFP at Bob Binney Wealth Management.
And today's Bobcast topic is the mistakes that cause six-figure earners to live paycheck to paycheck. We're going to talk about inflation versus lifestyle inflation. But in our practice, and her and I both, I've been doing this for about 30 years now, we run across lots of people that make lots of money and spend it all, or spend more. We used to live, when Jessie was younger, we used to live in a neighborhood that had really nice houses in it. Actually, it was over in the Ridge here in Lincoln, across from South Point. And there were a lot of people in our neighborhood, seemed like particularly doctors, that made a lot of money and spent a little bit more than they made. And it's kind of interesting. And so in this topic, we're going to talk about inflation, regular inflation versus lifestyle inflation. In other words, luxuries becoming perceived necessities.
Because there's a difference, right? Inflation has been really, really bad, especially since COVID. Well, COVID is the cause of it, and all the extra dollars that were pumped into the system by the government. Inflation has been really bad since then. But there's also lifestyle inflation, and we can't control inflation, regular inflation, right? We can make choices as a response to regular inflation, but we can't control it. What we can control, though, is lifestyle inflation. And what the data talks about as far as lifestyle inflation is pretty interesting. So Goldman Sachs did a survey in 2025, and what they found out was that households who were earning $300,000 or more, they even did this at $500,000, and the data was almost exactly the same. 40% of those households said that they are living paycheck to paycheck.
How do you do that? Well, I can tell you how you do that. You spend more than you make. You know, your great-grandpa, my grandpa Benny, Peachy Benny, I remember he used to love to, especially as he was getting older, give me advice, pass on wisdom. And one of the main things he liked to make sure that I knew was Bobby. And I remember him saying this because my family name was Bobby, because Dad's name was Bob too. He'd say, Bobby, remember, it doesn't what's important is not how much you make, it's how much you spend. And he's so right, because we run across in our practice all kinds of people that are very wealthy, that never made over $100,000 a year in their life. But they spent less than they made, and they saved. A lot of them were also very big givers and blessed by God because of being good givers. So.
And that's kind of one of the concepts in this awesome book called Millionaire Next Door, is that the people who are actually millionaires and have actually built wealth over the years are not who they think, how you would think they are. They're not people that made a lot of money throughout their lives. They're people who were responsible with money throughout their lives. And so one other thing that I wanted to mention regarding that survey that Goldman Sachs did is that when they went down to an income level between $200,000 and $300,000, interestingly enough, only 16% of those at that income level were living paycheck to paycheck. So you go from 16% of them living paycheck to paycheck from $200,000 to $300,000, and then you go up to $300,000, and they even did it at $500,000, and it's like right about 40% at both of those levels. And so the people who are making more money, way more of those people are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's becoming a real problem.
So it's lifestyle inflation. It's trying to keep up with the Joneses, or living beyond our means. That's what caused high earners to live paycheck to paycheck. It's things like not having a budget. Not paying yourself first, paying yourself last. In other words, saving after you've spent all the money. Wait until the end of the month and then see what you have left to save. That's not going to work. It's not having counsel or professional advice from a CPA or a financial advisor. It's paying too much money for a home, vehicle, or school, because other people are doing it or whatever, or you think you can. You think you need to have a brand new car every year or two, or you think you have to drink an expensive cup of coffee, $5 or something like that every morning on the way to work or something like that. You're kind of smiling.
I did have one today, but I don't every day.
And it's not having a plan. So the way, remember we're talking about Jesse mentioned actual inflation versus lifestyle inflation. We'll help you fight actual inflation. Actual inflation that we're experiencing, and it's going to go on for a while, we believe, is the rising cost of goods and services. So the best way to protect yourself with investments, protect your investments and your future buying power with your investments, is to buy assets like investing in companies, investing in gold, investing in income producing real estate. Those kind of assets will hold their value and even increase their value during times of high inflation. Other things like money in the bank or CDs or bonds lose value in inflation because they just can't make enough to keep up.
So here are some ways to fight this lifestyle inflation that we're talking about. So the first one is simple enough. It's just budget. Know where your money is going, so it's not a mystery of what you're spending on what. And then after you know where the money is going, you can decide, you can take control of it. So to take control of it, we always encourage people, number one priority is tithe first. Give to the Lord first and surrender the control of the money to Him first and foremost. It trickles down into every other aspect of your financial life. Secondly, pay yourself second. Okay? So instead of investing what's left over or saving what's left over, just have that automatically come out of the top of your paycheck right when you get paid. And then you can budget the rest after you've done those two main priority things. Thirdly, don't let your debt payments become more than you can handle to stay afloat. So the kind of number in this is about 20% of what your net income is.
The rule of thumb is about 20% of your
and that doesn't matter. No matter how much money you make, no matter what the rate is on that debt, don't let those monthly payments become more than 20% of what you're bringing in. Lastly, invest in, this is the most important part of this entire thing because it's a mindset and a heart issue, is invest in things that last, not things that lose shine. This could be investing in things that last, like those assets that we talked about earlier, in companies, gold, real estate, actual things that are going to produce a return for you.
Right.
The other part of this is investing in things that last, that are heart things. Invest in causes that last, causes that have a meaning, by giving money to ministry, to do ministry, to charity, things like that, and prioritizing that. Another thing is investing in experiences, not in things that you can just consume, or things that you're not going to care about in 30 days or a year or two, like a new vehicle that becomes not new right when you drive it off the lot, things like that.
Experiences that produce memories that you can relive and repeat and share. And I like what you said about investing in tithing and charities and helping people. When we help people and when we invest, when we give money to churches and charities, we're helping grow God's kingdom, and that's what we're ultimately supposed to be doing anyway. And that's what gives us more pleasure, and that we've experienced in people that we know that are customers that are happy and joyful in their retirement. seems to be that the ones that give away a lot of money are real happy.
Yeah,
And-
they're investing
and-
in eternal things.
Yeah, yeah, and God is blessing them. They're not doing it because of that, but God blesses them financially as a result of that obedience. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the Bobcast, and please like and subscribe.
Good job.
And of course, if you have any questions about any of this or any other kind of financial matters, whether it's investments or retirement income planning or estate planning or tax strategies or anything that we do as financial advisors, please call our office, or you can contact me at bob@bobbenny.com.
I'm Jessie at bobbenny.com.
So anyway, thank you very much and have a blessed day.